Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shirley, aka Bibla Bunny, and for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, thank you very much. And if you haven't already, make sure you go down below and click that subscribe button. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into this video, and this week I want to talk about a subject that is not so easy to talk about. This week's video is going to be a little bit different from what I usually post, in the sense of it's a topic that I really wanted to talk about. It's a little bit hard to discuss, and it hits very, very close to home for me. I wanted to talk about this subject because when I was going through it, I wish I knew I was. And you may think in your head, how did you not know you were going through it, or that you were showing signs? But for me anyway, I didn't know what I was going through until I looked at it from an outside perspective. And by the time that happened, I was way into it, and it was a little bit too late for me to realize what I have done already. What once starts as I want to eat healthy and I want to exercise literally goes from 0 to 100, and you don't know when that happens, because it literally becomes your life and it consumes you. You think about this 24/7 from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and that's literally all you think about. Eating disorders affect an estimated 20 million women, and it just doesn't affect women. An estimated 10 million men have also suffered from an eating disorder just alone in the United States. Eating disorders can happen to anyone, regardless of your age or your gender, and they can start out in children as young as 8 years old. There is anorexia nervosa, bulimia, binge eating disorder, pica, and orthorexia, and so on. But these are just some of the ones that I would like to talk to you about today. I do have some notes here that will help me give you guys some information, because I could only go from what I went through myself and my experiences, and everybody is different. Anorexia nervosa is when you try to do everything in your power to limit your calorie intake, whether it's from over-exercising, limiting your calories, taking laxatives, or diet pills. Bulimia nervosa, otherwise just known as bulimia, is when you eat a large amount of food in a short period amount of time, and then you try to overcompensate by throwing all that up. Many people with bulimia restrict their calories throughout any time of the day, and then they end up eating a large amount of food at once, which leaves them feeling guilty about themselves in result of throwing everything up that they just ate, trying to compensate for them eating that large amount of food. Now we have binge eating disorder. This disorder is one that I think more people are starting to talk about now. I remember back then when I was having all these problems, I never heard of this, and I wish I did. I wish I had somebody to talk to, because I was experiencing all these types of behaviors and I did not know what was going on. And it's something that I kind of want to talk to you guys more about in the future, once I start getting a little bit more comfortable. But when you have binge eating disorder, is when you eat, okay, so you have your meal, right? And then that meal is never enough. You're always thinking of, what am I going to eat next? One thing after another, and you finish eating one thing, and then immediately you want to eat something else, regardless of how full you are. You may feel stuffed and just like you're about to explode, but you just want to keep eating. Unlike with bulimia, with binge eating disorder, you don't throw this food up, which leaves the individual feeling kind of bad about themselves, kind of gross, and definitely embarrassed. So I think that is why not a lot of people talk about this subject. But like I said, I would like to talk about it more in the near future, once I start getting comfortable enough to share my journey with you guys. So now I want to talk about pica. Pica is an eating disorder that is not based on food. And I'm not quite sure if I'm saying this correctly or not, but we're not here to judge each other, and we're not here to criticize. We're here to learn. So if you guys know the right way to say it, you could just comment down below and we'll all learn together. This is a learning experience for both you and I. People with pica often crave things that are non-food related, such as dirt, cloths, hair, chalk, mattress. Like literally, I know you guys have seen things like this on my Strange Addiction, and it sounds funny and it sounds silly, like, oh my god, there was an episode where one of the ladies was eating her mattress, and yeah, it sounds funny and it sounds silly, but it's not funny and it is not silly, because there's people out there who are actually struggling with this and they can't help themselves. They're putting themselves at high risk for poisoning, gut injuries, infections, and like I said, they can't help it because they have this disorder. Now, there is one more that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and that is orthorexia. Orthorexia is when a person is so fixated on eating right. Well, what the hell is eating right? Right? For these individuals, they like to cut out food groups that are deemed bad, or foods that they feel like they can't have because either it'll mess up their whole diet, or they just think they can't have these foods. And what I mean by that is they are afraid of eating out at a restaurant, at a friend's house, or just anything that wasn't prepared by them. In many cases, people cut out so many food groups that they become malnourished, but I think with any of these disorders, these individuals are malnourished because they're not eating enough. Now guys, I know this is a bit different from what I post on my channel usually, but I really wanted to take the time today to talk to you guys about this subject and bring some awareness to it, since it is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. This subject hits very close to home, and most people don't think about this in their everyday life, but for some of us, we struggle every day with this. And some people may not see the big deal in food and exercise, but some of us don't have that luxury to have not gone through this, or to be still suffering from it. The reason for this video is to inform you guys and to make you guys aware that these disorders exist, and that maybe you guys can inform me as well, because I could only go from my own views and my own experiences and my own struggles. The purpose of today was to inform you guys and make you guys aware that it's 2020 and these disorders are still a problem. It might not be happening to you, but it might be happening to your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin. And I just wanted to make people aware that these disorders are there. There is a fine line between health and fitness. Don't get me wrong, it is perfectly achievable to find balance without going overboard, but it's a struggle and it is not easy, for me anyway. For me, it has taken year after year to try to find balance, and I still struggle with this even now. And sometimes I have my good days and sometimes I have my bad days, of course. But one thing that I've always had was support from my family, support from my co-workers, whom were my closest friends at the time. And some people are not able to say that. I want to be that help, and I want to be that support for someone else who has gone through it or who's going through it right now. In this video, I didn't want to talk too much about myself, but I wanted mostly to inform people about these things. And with time, I will open up about my past experiences, my recent ones, because I can't expect someone else to feel comfortable with me if I can't feel comfortable just quite yet with telling you guys my story. Hope I made some of you guys aware and informed you about National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and perhaps some of you guys could inform me and educate me as well on the topic, because I could only go on from my own experiences and my own views and my own struggles. I'm gonna end the video right here, but before I go, I just want to remind you guys to always be kind, understanding, and open-minded. You never know what someone else is going through in their everyday life or in their head. If you or someone you know needs help, just know that there is help out there and that you are not alone. You are not the only one who struggles with this. My comment box and most importantly, my inbox are always open if you feel like you don't have anybody to turn to, if you feel alone, or if you feel like whomever you do have just doesn't understand what you're going through. Just know that you can turn to me and I am only a message away and I will always answer. What I want you guys to know is that you are not alone and there is somebody else out there that can help you, and I want to be that somebody for somebody else. So with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.